Hello everyone, I've got a few books today to share with you. They have, well, two of them I bought in a shop, but they are available on Amazon. The other two I got from Amazon. I haven't really had a good look at them yet myself, but I thought we could have a look at them together. I have a new sketchbook that I thought that we could have a little look at, and then something rather cute that I got from Etsy. So I haven't really bought a lot recently, kind of art haul wise, but let's just start with some books, I think. So I'm going to need to move those over a bit more. There we go. Let's start with this one. Oh, we've got a bit of a shine. Let's turn that off. That's better, everyone, isn't it? Good. Right, this is the Artist's Sketchbook, Exercises and Techniques for Sketching on the Spot, and it's by Kathy Johnson. It just says on the back here, grab your pen and seize the day. Now, I do like doing pen and wash pen and watercolor, so I bought this in the hope that it's going to be something that I might get some inspiration from. So, and I do like that. That is lovely. What does it say? Destruction debris. Okay. So let's have a little look at our contents here then. We've got a chapter on getting started, one on materials and supplies. We've got one exploring your own backyard. Then we've got the travel bug, nature sketching, urban sketching. Oh, good, we're separated out. Sketching your life, creativity first. And we've got a little bit, an index and a bit about the author. Well, let's just have a little look about the author, shall we? Because I think that's probably quite important. Kathy Johnson has been making art since dirt was first flaking off the rocks and dinosaurs roamed the earth. She's been known to say she misses the taste of a good pterodactyl burger. She's an artist, writer, teacher, naturalist, wanderer, gardener, traveller, wife and mother to an ever-changing herd of cats. She has written 35 books and innumerable magazine articles. She does offer online art classes at kathyjohnson.info and spends as much time as possible out in nature with her art supplies in hand. Okay. Lovely. So let us have a little bit what you need. You need a surface, something to do your sketching on. You need some pigments. So she's put here for the surface, cold pressed, hot pressed or multimedia paper. Then we've got watercolors. We've got some brushes here that she recommends, and then some other equipment like perhaps a calligraphy pen, black ink pen, graphite pencil, wax-based coloured pencils like Prismacolor or a white gel pen. So the typical kind of things, really. Oh, look at this rooster sketch. That is lovely. So she says here, like any good trip, wherever you go, the secret is to be prepared, but not too prepared. To leave some room for what she calls serendipity, for thinking on your feet, for surprises and delight and flexibility. Nice. Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. See, I'm not really into doing people myself, but I admire those that do. You have to excuse me, I've got no rings on today, if anyone's looking at my hands and wondering, and I've got a ring that I can't get off my finger. So I'm today I'm going to be working out how I can get that off and over this knuckle. But anyway, I digress. So let's move on. She talks when you are able to sketch on the spot. And I think that is a lovely thing to do if you're able to get out. Now, some of us aren't always able to do that, and we do then, you know, end up using reference pictures and our own photos maybe from where we have been out, Pinterest. There are all sorts of other ways, but there is something about sketching when we're out and about. Although I've never tried sketching in the car. I might try that. So we've got a few pictures here of watercolour kits. No kit is too small. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be, or where are you right now? Of course, you don't have to go anywhere, since there's always something to sketch from life. But do ask yourself what appeals to you on this day. Okay. Travel with your supplies. Sketching what touches your heart. Oh, I like, so we've got a progression here on this one, kind of step by step. Oh, good question. What's the difference between a sketchbook and a journal? The answer is that is personal preference. For me, sketchbooks and journals have been fairly interchangeable, but a sketchbook often feels more casual and less intensely personal. It's a place to plan, to capture a moment, or complete a study for a larger work. But I have done all those things in my journal as well. So there we go. Interchangeable. I think that's a good idea. Materials and supplies. So, I mean, most books have these in there. I do like a good accordion book every now and again, I have to say. So it talks about different surfaces of paper, pencils, pencil lines, using coloured pencils, unusual colour. Oh, what have we got here? One of my favourite combinations for sketching on the spot is a dark wax-based coloured pencil and watercolour. Oh, I see. Yeah, instead of using a pencil, she's using a coloured pencil, in other words. Rather than black, dark brown or dark grey, use an unusual colour. It can offer a livelier effect. I might be trying that one. Yeah. So, you know, even within this materials section, there might be some little tips that we can pick up. And isn't it lovely to see all these different kits? We just love it, don't we? Exploring your own backyard. So things that are close to you. I think sometimes it's quite good to do something that's close to you and do it in different seasons throughout the year. She talks a little bit about time and weather. You know, quite often we're challenged by both. But I guess if we can sketch in our car, I might have to start doing that. It's quite often when I look out and it's so miserable and I think, I won't be able to paint because everything's going to get wet. Maybe that's the trick. Travel bug, keep it simple, finding a subject. I'm sure that this is probably packed with heaps of sketching with an audience. I don't think there's been many times when I've actually been approached. Most people walk straight past when you're sketching outside. So, you know, I think it's one of those things that people worry about that really quite often never happens. And we've got interpretations of things. So, you know, I'm going to just flip through the rest. Textures and foliage, hills and mountains, skies and clouds. There are demonstrations, a few demonstrations throughout. Not a huge amount, but there are some. But I can see that this is going to be a really interesting book to read, as well as you know, giving me more tips and ideas. So, the artist's sketchbook, Kathy Johnson. Let's have a look at the next one, which was also a sketchbook. The Sketchbook Challenge, Techniques, Prompts and Inspirations for Achieving Your Creative Goals, by Sue Blywise. Apologise if I've said your name wrong. Let's have a look what this one's got in it. Oh, okay, we've got Getting Started. Oh, and then we've got circles, dwellings, elements, everyday objects, messages, patterns and grids, rhythm, simple pleasures, symbols, treasure, vistas and views, weathered beauty. Ooh. Yeah, this might, some of this looks as though it might be a little bit more like journaling, like an art journal rather than sketching, but it is called the Sketchbook Challenge. But I guess that's so we've got our usual materials and things going on here, but sometimes, you know, it is worth reading through these because we might find a new material that perhaps we hadn't thought of using. So exploring a theme, there we go, spidergram or mind map. So the Sketchbook Challenge begins. Circles. So this is a theme that I'm going to be doing for Paint Calm. I won't be copying any of these, but I thought it would be quite nice to have a bit of a theme for our Paint Calm in September. So I'm going to be looking at how we might do various things that are involving circles. We've got dwellings here. So this is obviously different artists. So we've got lots of different artists and the techniques that they used underneath a kind of a topic heading, if you like. Textures, lovely. Everyday objects. So yeah, different artists up the top here, and how they may have tackled that particular topic to, you know, give us more ideas, basically. So, oh, look, patterns and grids. That looks really interesting. I mean, some of these are, you know, dyed fabrics. I wouldn't really be going, I will just be using it for inspiration. Rhythm. So I'm just giving this a little bit of a, see, that's a really interesting idea. I like that idea. Yeah. Symbols. Quite like Egyptian hieroglyphs. Maybe I could do a few paintings with those in. You know, just sometimes flicking through a book gives you something to bounce your own ideas off of. So there we go, the Sketchbook Challenge by Sue Wise. I think that's how you say it. Now, next I've got a book that I bought from a local shop, not too far from me, but you can get this from Amazon. It's Simply Paint Birds, a complete watercolour course for beginners by Tom Shepherd. And you do get free Daniel Smith paint dots in the back here, look. So we've got these free paints in the back. And I do like doing birds. I don't do them as often as I would. I get pulled into all directions, I guess. I'm just flipping through this for you so that you can see techniques and things and materials as usual. Oh, look, we've got warm primaries and cool primaries. Now, I've been looking at warm and cool, haven't I? More recently. So, yeah, that's interesting. And then we've got, it moves into the projects. So for each project, it gives you the colours. It does give you an outline drawing for you to use to do your own. And then this is like a step by step. There's Mr. Blackbird. We've got a swan, and not many colours used at any one time on most of these. There's the avocet. I quite fancy having a go at that avocet. He looks nice. We've got some rock hopper penguins. Red cardinal. Flamingo. So if you're someone that likes books that have these step-by-steps and tells you what colours to make and even gives you the outline drawing, then this might be something that you would, you know, find useful. Got a toucan, hummingbird, lovebirds, oh gosh, what is that? Battler eagle. I don't know if I've said that right. Tawny owl, scarlet macaw, robin. Oh, I'm definitely going to try using those colours and see what happens. Carmine bee eater, very pretty. Oh, kingfisher. We've got a mandarin duck, a hoopoe, is that how you say that? No, colourful bird. A blue jay, a barn owl, turtle dove, a bald eagle. Very nice. A blue and gold macaw. And a resplendent, oh gosh, what is that? A quetzal? Quetzal? I've never heard of one of those. But in any case, oh look, we've got a gorgeous peacock as well. And the good thing is that you can use these dots, and if you like them, you could then decide to invest in those colours. I mean, it looks like you've got a cool and a warm yellow. You've got a cool and a warm blue. Yes, looks like you've got a cool and a more warm red there. You've got a cobalt turquoise and a lavender as well. You've got a good little selection there. That might be a good starting point. But if you like projects that are laid out with the colours and the sketch as well, then I think this one looks a lovely book, and I can't wait to have a go at doing some of these birds. Simply Paint Birds by Tom Shepherd. My last book that I've bought recently, I love Angela Harding's work. this is actually, believe it or not, a colouring book. I will not be using it as a colouring book. It is too nice to use as a colouring book. It's got this flap on the inside, and I think you'll probably see why in a moment. So it does say make your own art. It says many of the pages in this book feature details of Angela's wonderful illustrations. So just some details. The full artworks in their original forms can be seen at the back of the book, pages 92 to 96. The titles of the prints can be found on the page opposite to them. Below a partly finished vignette. Angela's prints often include a lot of bold blacks, so we suggest you use broad strokes across the design rather than attempting to fill in between the blacks. Here are some of the hues used in this book. And there she is. She's a printmaker and illustrator, and I just absolutely adore her work. Look. So there's our little vignette. This is called Wild Light. And you can see there's no way that you could, you know, try and colour it. You need to go over the top. But I like the fact that these are all black and white. I'm using these as inspiration. There we go. There's the Avocets at Blakeney. Church Cottage at Morstan. Look at these. If you are a fan of these kind of line print pictures, lino printing, then I think you'll probably love this. As I said, I'm not going to be colouring mine in. That's the Morstan Fox. This one was called Landlines. Tulips and Forget-Me-Nots. And I love the fact that you get this little coloured vignette. But when you look at the line, I mean, this is going to give me so many ideas for doing, you know, lots of different lines on my own work. I just think it's beautiful. And you've got lots and lots of pages, all with these beautiful lines and the coloured vignettes on the other side. So if you're a fan of her work, if you haven't come across this, you might love it. And then, as it says in the back, oh, look at that winter squirrel. In the back, it does give you all of the prints and what they looked like with the colours that were used originally. So yeah, even just these to look at are really lovely. I love it. I've got a lot of books of hers. Angela Harding, and yeah, it's the colouring book, believe it or not. But yeah, beautiful. I hope you think so too. Even look at the back. Yeah, there we are then. That's that one. Now, the other thing that I purchased was this watercolour book. You just get that bit, unhook it so I kept it because otherwise I wouldn't remember what it was. So this is the watercolour pad. It's medium coarse grain for wet in wet technique, double-sided texture, cold press, 34 sheets, acid free, 8 inches square, 230 grams, paperweight, and this cost me £7.19. This came from Temu. So I'm thinking, I mean, it's a really good weight. It's not too bad. I mean, obviously it's not 300 GSM, but for the price, I think this is rather good. I had a little play with some of my deep light paints to test how they came out. They came out okay. I had a go with some coloured pencils. I had a go with some neo colours. I tried some watercolour markers, and I tried some gouache. And if we turn the page over, the only thing that has come through is this watercolour marker, which is a really dark, I think this is sepia. I think it's a Faber-Castell watercolour marker, and so it is quite dark. I just wanted to see what was going to go through and whether I could use both sides of the paper. But I would have to say that for £7.19, I don't think that we can grumble too much. I think that that's rather a bargain, and the texture on it is not what I call grid-like. It is quite random, so I think it's going to be quite nice paper, and it does come with the elastic to keep everything in place. So personally, I thought that was rather a bargain, and I thought I would share that one with you. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, look at this little pouch. Isn't it gorgeous? I got this from Etsy. And inside is this beautiful little palette. And it's by Yamir SD Studio, based in London. Yamir SD, yeah. So, yeah, it came with this little card that does other pieces of pottery. What I really loved about it was that this little pot, this little palette, which, you know, is big enough to take out with me, comes with its own little pouch, and therefore it's not going to get broken. And yes, we can use plastic palettes, but how nice to be able to have this to take out with us. So size wise, this little bag, I mean, it fits inside the bag. It's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, except that it curves at the bottom there. That would be 4.5 by well, just under 4.5 the other way. So yeah, that's the kind of size. You can see it in my hand. I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, and what a nice idea to put it in this lovely pouch so that it doesn't get broken. So I think I'm going to be taking this away with me. I'm going away at some point in September, so yeah, a nice addition. Anyway, that is it for this video. I just wanted to do kind of like my September books, but also share a couple of new things with you at the same time. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay calm, until I see you next time. Bye for now.